And welcome back, class, to Let's Play Dragon Age Origins Remastered. I am Snapwave. We're playing as Cousland, and we're in the Shaperate, so we're going to learn about shapes.
Steve! Who would dare take from the memories?
Uh-oh. We'll get to that, though. I want to poke this book, which means I have to run all the way around this way, I guess. Concerning the loss of the Legion of Steel. I guess we'll deal with that in a little bit. There's people in here who want to talk to us. But I want to go and click on all the books first, because I love clicking on books. Political structure of Orzammar. There are rich dudes, and then there are dudes who are less rich, and then there are really poor dudes. In praise of the humble Nug. What's this one? Alright. The thing with the rocks and stuff. Dwarven religion. They worship their ancestors. Especially those that they deem particularly worthy of attention. Song about a nug. Wow. I guess that's a thing.
Very well.
Gloves of Diligence. Oh yes, that's part of the Diligence thing. The Diligence armor set, which we are not going to be getting all of, for reasons we will get into later.
Are you looking for records of the Grey Wardens? We have many.
Maybe later. I'm sure they'd be very interesting. I missed you, book. But I'm back now. Hello, Shaper Assistant Mildred.
I'm outraged. A thief in the Shaperate. What have we been reduced to?
A library.
I did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. Almost like he took pride in being castless. Imagine.
Or he wasn't castless and it
Probably
was
in
a
the
fake
slums
brand.
somewhere. As if he'd find a buyer for a stolen tome in Dust Town. They couldn't know the value.
Well, I'll take a look around. Hello, Orta.
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume?
History of High Fives, Volume 4.
Don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research.
Ironically, the History of High Fives does not actually go up to Volume 5.
I was looking for something about the Orton Tig. It was lost during the last Blight, and there aren't many records left.
That sucks.
They were a noble house once, descended from the Paragon Orton, who composed the grand epic of the Seven Brothers and the Ortonic Symphony.
Wow.
My mother's family believes they were descended from Kalana Orton, who was training in Orzammar when the Tig fell. I'm even named for the house, Orta.
Yeah, I got that.
Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Tig's ruins, somewhere in the deep roads.
I'll get to that.
A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the Tig, it was the Wardens.
Or anyone
I hear
with a
Prince Bhelen and
GPS.
Lord Harrimont have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the Tig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If
Cool.
you could. Maybe now that you're looking. It's almost too much to hope.
Yeah, don't worry about it. If I find it, I find it. If I don't, you'll spend the rest of your life in obscurity.
When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king and Orzammar was at peace. The memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. But it is different to see it firsthand. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of Memories.
Your name is Zebor. Good for you.
The Grey Warden's visit has been recorded in the memories, along with all who accompany you.
Dog doesn't like that.
Ask, and I shall do my best to answer.
At incredible length. You ready for this, class?
According to our legends, 7 brothers founded our empire. The youngest, Bloodlik, was the wisest and was chosen king. His children formed the noble caste. The eldest, Giachet, trained his sons to defend their king. They became the warrior caste. Jatjar founded the artisans. Orzatjar forged our first swords. It was Orzammar who dug the mines that became our city's foundations. The twins Koapar and Noct both founded trading houses, but Noct was wounded in battle. On his recovery, he swore to serve his brother's sons.
A likely story.
The casteless descend from criminals and those repudiated by their own families. or who chose to go to the surface and live by human laws. They have no ancestors to guide them, and no families to claim them. They should not have been born. Their parents defied their shame and brought cursed children into the world. It's better they die young.
That's terrible.
Their births are not recorded in the memories. In Orzammar, they do not exist.
Oh, you're a bad person.
Something you wish to discuss? We were a great empire once, outnumbering even humans and elves. We traded with your Tevinter Imperium, and our land stretched as far in the deep roads as theirs did above. Kal Sharok was capital then, but we lost too many battles. We lost our golems, and we lost our territory. Now the Empire is simply ruined tunnels filled with darkspawn.
Probably should have brought Shale here.
The Paragon Caridin, a smith of unsurpassed genius, invented the golems. For years they were our weapon against the darkspawn. One golem is worth a dozen dwarves in battle, but Caridin's Tig is far into the deep roads. When it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems. There are books about it along these walls if you would read more.
Maybe.
They are to us what a colony is to surfacers.
Okay, cool.
At the other side of the old empire, during the last blight, the kings of Orzammar knew they couldn't hold everything. They sealed the deep roads, abandoning everyone still trapped in far-flung settlements. It was the only way to survive.
Or the easiest
Kal Sharok
way.
was the only other city to outlast the blight. We only rediscovered them recently, and they still haven't forgiven us.
Can't imagine why.
I will settle your mind if I can, Warden.
I'm done.
Please, speak your mind. Your presence here has been recorded in the memories. I wish I knew what significance it has.
I want to get Shale here, and I'm not going to run all the way back out, so I'm just going to use the console to put him in the party. Hang on. There we go, that took a minute.
Ah, you return, Warden. Is there more you would know from Orzammar's memories?
I've got a golem here.
Ask, and I shall do my best to answer. But we lost too many battles. The Paragon when it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems.
There we go.
Yes. We have only a few dozen left in Orzammar, and I do not recognize this one.
It's
Where did
tiny.
you find it? Every golem is precious to us. We'd pay a good sum for a new find.
I'd sooner jump into a pit of lava.
Unfortunate. Was there anything else? I must tell the rest of the Shaperate about this discovery.
No, that's cool.
Your presence here has been recorded in the memories. I wish I knew what significance it has.
It's magic. Alright, anything else here? No? Alright, let's get out of here. It's a kind of magic, magic, magic. Alright, let's go into the thing with the place. This thing with the place. Vartag. Can we go into the assembly before we talk to
The
Vartag?
assembly is in session.
I shall do it.
Enter quietly if you wish to observe.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the surface trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
That's not
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll
How
see your head on a pike first.
respect works.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Bhelen's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
Would that be
I
so bad?
suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
That's a staff you're
Enough.
carrying.
The assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions.
You said it, Bandalore. Bandalore? I'm not sure which one it is.
Stone-forsaken fools and dusters. I'm sorry. This is the assembly of the clans. Only Deshers and occasional guests of state are allowed in.
Well, you know.
Forgive me. I am so exhausted. I completely forgot about the message from the gate guard.
It's cool, bro.
Welcome
Your job
to
sucks.
Orzammar, Warden. I hope you can forgive our unrest. The loss of our king has hit us hard. Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne.
Well, how can I do to fix that?
I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Bhelen or Lord Harrimont, and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. Dulan Ferender, Harrimont's man, can be found at the Harrimont estate. Vartag Gavorn, Prince Bhelen's second, is often here in the assembly. I only wish there was more I could do for you.
So I already know who I'm going to support, but we'll just talk to them both. Come back here.
Warden, welcome. It is always a blessing for Orzammar to host your order.
Stop licking boots.
Vartag Gavorn, top advisor to our good Prince Bhelen. What news do you bring? Ah, ancient documents indeed. These were signed in the reign of Eithnar Bimo, Paragon and King. That was 16 generations ago. Now
And
the
yet,
difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now.
dang it.
You must understand, Harrimont hides behind his good reputation while sending spies and assassins. Bhelen can't know who to trust.
I'm a frickin'
It's
Grey
been
Warden.
like a knife in the heart for Bhelen to see so many of his father's men stand with the usurper.
No, it isn't. Bhelen is a terrible person.
You've been turned by Harrimont's slanders already. I should have known no soul in Orzammar would be neutral.
I didn't say anything about that.
Harrimont has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Harrimont's deception.
Irrefutable evidence, which I suppose you have?
I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude. Harrimont promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmy. Harrimont can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Harrimont gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes.
Goodness me.
Don't expect this offer to last. If my prince hears you swore allegiance to his enemy, he won't be so friendly next time. I will be here if you change your mind.
So that's Vartag. And we get a quest for him. So we can show these notes to these two dudes. And that's the thing. Now I need to go talk to Dulan, which he is the Harrimont's estate in the Diamond Quarter. Or in Tapster's Tavern. I guess we'll find out where he is today. He's normally at Harrimont's estate. I've never actually seen him at the Tapster's Tavern. Yeah, there he is right now. Hi.
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulan Ferender, second to Lord Harrimont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help.
Diplomacy, diplomacy, diplomacy.
That may be, and that is a terrible risk for the surface. But even if the world would end tomorrow, Lord Harrimont cannot ignore Bhelen today. He cannot afford to trust anyone of unproven loyalties.
Mm-hmm.
You're asking the King of Orzammar to send armies to the surface, but Orzammar has no king and we have no army. Right
You
now,
have an army.
the men who should be fighting Darkspawn are brawling in the street. If this situation is not resolved, we face civil war.
You guys
If you want
suck.
Lord Harrimont's time now, you'll have to prove you have no intention of turning against him later.
Right, right.
That's a generous offer. If you mean it, you might attend the proving today. The Deshers take it very seriously. And unfortunately, Bhelen found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrimont's best fighters into stepping down.
I see.
It would certainly make your loyalties loud and clear. Bhelen would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Harrowmont would have no fear of meeting with you then.
Alright, well...
Then I'm afraid your only choice is to wait until there's a winner. Lord Harrowmont cannot risk his life working with someone of unproven loyalties. If you change your mind, let me know. The proving is this afternoon, and Lord Harrowmont could certainly use you on his side.
Now that you've seen that, and you know that both sides are sketchy little buggers, I'm going to explain to you why I'll be siding with Prince Bhelen, even though Prince Bhelen is an horrible person. The difference between Prince Bhelen and Lord Harrowmont is that Lord Harrowmont supports isolationism as a policy, and, well, I don't. And isolationism is not something that is going to be good for the dwarves in the long run.
Lord Harrowmont is a weak man, and he will be a weak king. Yes.
It's not very good. Yes. So isolationism, cutting themselves off from trade with the surface. It's not going to help them out in the long run. It's not going to help the surface out in the long run, especially people like the Templars and the Circle of Magi, who are reliant on the lyrium produced down here in Orzammar and other dwarven settlements. If they close themselves off, that creates boundless political and economic strife, and while I'm not a fan of capitalism in general, it's the way that this world works, and the way that our world works, unfortunately. So I can't support Lord Harrowmont, who's a traditionalist and an isolationist, whereas Bhelen is progressive, even if he is also a huge asshole. Kings have to be sometimes. So that is why I will be siding with Prince Bhelen here in this situation. Speaking of which, hello Lady Dace.
This has dragged on too long. It's an insult to King Endrin's memory.
I have done something wrong. Ah, okay, I have to go back to Vartag and tell him that I'm going to do his thing for him. Then I can talk to Lady Dace and to Lord Helmy, who we've already seen down in the Tapster's Tavern. Oh, not the Royal Palace. Not much use going in there right now, really, when we have this to deal with first. Alright, let's go in there and talk to What's-His-Face and then get the stuff for the things. Hello.
I hope you're not wasting my time.
Yeah.
If you want Bhelen to support you in your surface war, you'll have to help him take the throne. If you do, now, do you wish my prince's support?
Yeah.
I have the promissory notes right here. Just take them.
Okay,
Lady Dace
fine.
doesn't leave the quarter much. But Lord Helmy's adventurous.
I know where he is.
And just to be clear,
we've got that. Don't make me push your face in with my sword, which I don't even use very often, but I have it, and it will be mostly sufficient for pushing your face in, so stop threatening me. Hate politicians.
News of the hour. Lord Harrowmont's insinuations against Lord Bhelen reveal the truth. Could Harrowmont be the true cause of King Endrin's death?
Bhelen is the cause of King Endrin's death. He's a terrible, terrible bad man.
What do you want? Ah, I suppose you're the Grey Warden everyone's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this isn't exactly a surface broadsheet. Where did you get these? Never mind. It is true enough, but there's nothing I can do about it. This deal was made on behalf of our entire house. Only my father can revoke it.
So show him this.
He is leading a deep roads expedition, trying to secure an ancient tide.
Of course he is.
It's unlikely he'll be back before the election, but perhaps this vote is important enough for you to brave the tunnels to tell him? The Dace family would be in your debt.
Yeah, sure.
He was searching an old Idukan site. He left me with this map, in case his expedition never returned. I'll give you a pass as well. Usually, no one is allowed past the front lines. Does that mean you'll go?
Yeah.
So Bhelen's victory means enough for you to risk your life. How interesting.
It's not really risking my life that much. I mean, it's just the deep roads.
Lord Bhelen is a bad man! Yes, very bad!
Good for you. That's a very convincing point you've made. Well-supported argument.
2 years tomorrow.
Hello.
By all the holy sodding ancestors. How can you people just ignore that?
Branka didn't go alone, Ogren. She took the whole house, everybody but you. So just get over to Tapster's and drown yourself already. You know as well as I do that's how this always ends.
You think I'm afraid of some cub warrior who's barely off the teat? Ha!
What?
You lift a weapon or attack a single citizen in Orzammar, and you're stripped of your caste and exiled. Even you can't have forgotten that. Get out of here before I call a guardsman.
It's cool, Ogren. I'll meet you down at the Tapster's Tavern after we look at this council writ.
It shall be done.
What's this one telling us about dwarven propriety? Yeah. More stuff about how you shouldn't do things. Which I know. Very, very descriptive right there. Anyway, we're about out of time for this episode. And when we return, we're going to go down to the Tapster's Tavern and deal with a bunch of stuff there. So that will be a lot of fun. So until the next time, all the best.